I moved here in 2020, and at that time during the pandemic, there was nothing going on, but Scranton Fringe was happening. They were doing those storefront plays with the audience wearing headphones or earbuds, and I thought, wow, these people are awesome. Like to take a situation like the pandemic, complete shutdown, and yet go on with their plays. I was really impressed.
Oh, it's had a huge impact. One, it for just the opportunity of actors being paid for their work, for their time that's being committed to the project. I feel like it has helped give people the agency to show their art and show their talent. It's also given, I want to say for me, the opportunity to just continue putting my work into the community.
It's probably no better way to spend your money in the arts community. It allows the most diverse net to be cast for artists. It's an open application for people to get their pieces put into Fringe. It is probably one of the most community-oriented organizations in the area for the arts. It allows a lot more free expression. I mean, we have a pretty good base of free expression at the college for our department, but even more so, Fringe just lets you do what you need to do in order to speak to your community however you see fit. It is absolutely the most accessible way for an artist to have an impact or a voice in their community in our area. And I find no better way to, if you're not going to donate to a museum, then you should donate to Fringe festivals, especially Scranton Fringe.
So I benefit greatly. I'm a resident of Scranton, so I go to the festival all the time. I go to as many places as I can. I really love from the opening tease to the actual performances. But to me, my writing, I'm a fiction writer, and I love plays. I'm a PhD in literature. I love all kinds of literature, but especially plays. Being from New York, I fell in love with theater when I was young, and moving to Scranton, I was worried that I wouldn't have much to go to by way of live theater. But Fringe has provided that. Not just, we get musicals, we get plays, we get popular plays in Scranton, but to have experimental plays, to have locally produced and written plays, that's what I love.
Giving to Scranton Fringe means a direct impact in your community because Scranton Fringe offers so many community-based programs to help not only artists, but also audiences too. So that can mean things like ensuring that there's free programming for children at the Children's Library every year during the festival. It can mean offering youth workshops for playwriting or podcast production. It can mean offering theater for seniors or other community-based projects. So when you give to Scranton Fringe, you're actually making a direct impact on the arts in your community.
The biggest impact that I've seen in the community is that Scranton Fringe Festival has set up an expectation in the community for local homegrown art and events. I know during COVID, we had to stop and think about how we were going to continue the Fringe Festival, and there was the Front Porch Fest, which we had borrowed the idea from New Orleans, where we had people design and decorate their porches, and we went around and took photos and shared that online. There was the using of Animal Crossing to do different events and stage some stand-up and things of that nature. And then the one that really stands out is Fringe Under Glass. We managed to put on 6 shows. They were about 15 minutes each, but you got to travel through town. And so the actors were behind the screens, behind glass, in storefronts and different things, and then the audience was on the outside. And through the Silent Disco headset, another collaboration that we have, we were able to mic all of the talent behind the glass, and you could hear them and see the show, but you were protected during this COVID era. And I remember afterwards at an event somewhere, someone, finding out that I was with Fringe and mentioning that they were really, really grateful for Fringe Under Glass, because during that time period there weren't a lot of events that were happening and things that were sort of happening in the same way, and here was Fringe still putting on theater. It changed sort of how you interacted, but theater was still happening. There were still shows to see, and it was still happening during the Fringe Festival time period, and so that was really well appreciated.